Hi, welcome back. This is the Global Edition, eRacing GP Global Edition 3, and we are at the American Championship. My name is Alex Young, and next to me in the commentary booth is Amo Hazik. Amo, how's it going?
Yep, doing great. Glad
Okay.
to be back.
Yeah, so we are back now. We've had a 3-week break, end of the Copper, the end of the Global Edition 2, which are around European tracks, and we had 4 different categories: copper, bronze, silver, and gold. And we were driving in DTM cars, World Touring cars. But this time, Amo, we're going for a different one, aren't we? We got the 4 categories again: gold, silver, bronze, and copper. But we are racing in single-seaters, and we are racing around American tracks.
Yep, and to say that American tracks are boring, they have to rephrase it, because some American tracks that we're going to race on in this season are some of the best in the world. Like, for example, right now, this round, Road America is an IndyCar favorite. The fans love it, the drivers love it, and it's, suffice to say, one of the best tracks in the world, right up there alongside the Nürburgring and the Nordschleife and Spa-Francorchamps.
Absolutely, and we start with Road America, one of the best there. So let's go back to the practice. Let's get straight into it. We're in the Coppers. The Copper cars are already out there in practice, and they're in the CR1 cars. And let's have a look at how they're doing. So quite a few drivers on track already. Amma, what are these CR1 cars like?
Okay, so despite the prototype-looking nature of the cars, it is actually not an LMP2 car or LMP3 car by any stretch. It is basically a closed-wheel prototype, but akin to a GT3 car in performance. In fact, it even raced in the British GT Championship at one point. So these cars are close in nature to a GT3 car than it is to a prototype. So performance-wise, that's how it drives. But then again, it does have the speed. So as you can see, they're 200 kilometers per hour on the straight. So it is a very mean package, though it is actually good for the drivers to learn these cars before they jump up to faster single-seater cars after this.
Yeah, find they're generally quite good cars to introduce yourself to. You've seen some good racing in the past. They have a bit of downforce as well, don't they?
Yeah, but the only problem is that they don't have the best of brakes. There's no ABS in these cars, so the drivers have to modulate the pedal as they brake. And the fact that traction control is almost minuscule, it does have that much effect. So it really tests the driver's skill, but it is not that of a big jump to say a normal LMP3 car. It's about the same. It's a good training tool for drivers when they want to come up through the, in this case, closed prototype ranks.
Okay. Well, we're watching Janelli Cruz right now from Philippines. He's just done a 2:15.2, which is pretty good. I think on the leaderboards we had a couple drivers in the 14. But yeah, some very good times so far.
Yep, and glad to see that a lot of drivers from the previous season are back here right now. So there's a bit of familiarity. Everyone knows how they drive now. But there will still be one or two drivers who are new here that might not know how these drivers drive. So it's going to be interesting to see whether or not they're going to cause either mayhem or they're going to drive as professionally as possible.
Okay, so practice session coming to an end now. Cruz in the pits. It's quite incredible, isn't it? That view all the way up the hill on the start-finish straight and into the pit lane. Very big view. Just having a quick look at Sri Murugan. He was actually quickest in the weekly leaderboard. So let's see if he can do it again in the race right now. We are into qualifying, Ammo.
Yep, and he has a bit of a vendetta talking about Sri Murugan from last season. He was one of those drivers that was out of everyone's lips about the way he drives. Now is the time for him to actually challenge for the championship. Could he do it? Well, we'll have to wait and see, because we got 6 rounds and the best of 5 can count. So right now he's got it's a clean slate, and he's got a lot of work to do.
Yeah, he's really improved a lot. Ammo, why don't you take us around a lap of Road America?
All right, so coming up the hill through road into the start finish line here. The color sign at the start, there we go. Well, in this case it's Chevrolet. Coming to the first corner. This is a fan favorite of IndyCar, as the cars power their way through here through the first corner. We see a lot of accidents, notably just this year. Ryan Hunter-Reay just went off right here, being tagged by Will Power. So coming through the second corner, this is also another point of contention where drivers can easily knock each other. Despite the wide area here, a lot of drivers will still go off. And right here we had Graham Rahal. He smacked the wall right on the outside of the picture on the left here. Now then, through the dip, through to coming to turn 3. This is one of the best overtaking spots outside the first 2 corners, because it's such a long straight and it's a downhill dip. You can actually try and get on the inside. Look at that, how wide it is. brake before the 100 meter mark. In this case, it's just the one marker through the left, and then another second left coming up the hill through the Corvette bridge. In IndyCars, these are basically flat, but in the Aquila CR1s, they have to take it quite gingerly so that they can avoid spinning. Through the kink at turn 6 and turn 7. Through turn 8, and this is where the drivers will now hit one of the fastest points of the circuit, right after their own version of the carousel. This is Road America's carousel. Not as banked and not as much concrete, but it's still a very long corner that could easily go wrong if you go too wide. Now then, they're coming up to the back straight now. Through the kink, turn 11. This is where we had a monumental crash in 2006 in Champ Car. We'll talk about that later. As they come through the kink, it's easily flat here, and look at how close it is to the walls and the circuit. You could easily get it wrong and damage your car badly and cause other damage to other drivers. And now through to the last section. This is Canada corner. Not sure why they named it Canada corner. Maybe Canada is just up the road from here. Up the hill through the turn 11 and 12 sections. Now there used to be a bridge here. They removed that. We'll talk about that later as well. As now Sri Murugan now comes through the final corner. Purple sectors. Oh, he spins it! Just as he was about to come around the final corner, he has spun it. So at least he's got another lap to do, but that is unfortunate for Sri Murugan.
Wow, what a shame. He has got another lap to do it because he was looking really good there. He's restarted the lap. He only has one more lap to get it right though, so this lap has got to count. Let's follow Thiago Oliveira from New Zealand as he goes across the line, as he starts his lap. He's from New Zealand, joined us in the last round of the last Global Edition, and there you can see him on the screen right now as he drives through in real time at his home in New Zealand.
And surprisingly Portuguese name for a Kiwi, but nonetheless, he's still, he hasn't set a lap at the time, isn't he? He's just about to set his lap right now. But yeah, a very huge, broad scope of drivers we have right now from various nationalities, and it's quite nice to see that a lot of drivers are taking up the challenge in the ERGP here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, this is a proper Asia-Pacific challenge. We've had some really good representation from all the countries. Got quite a few new ones, actually, for this competition coming up later in the other classes, from Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Turkey even. So it's really nice to see that. I think we've got maybe over 30 countries represented in our Global Edition. So that's been pretty cool to see.
Wow, and the fact that you also introduced a Nations Cup, actually, didn't you?
Yeah, we're just trying to make our job hard, aren't we, Amo? So we're going to have the Nations Cup, and we're also going to have a Team Cup. So it's like the top country and top team overall over all four classes. That's going to be another headache to get the points to, but we'll have to do that after the racing. But right now, look at that, Thiago going through this double right-hander. No, not sure what part of the track is. I haven't driven this track enough. But he's looking good there. Sector 1. He's purple in Sector 1. I think he's coming to the end of Sector 2. Remember this kink, easy, flat, no issue in these CR1 cars. Sector 2. Oh, he's lost some time. It's a green sector for him, but he's 4/10 down as he goes into the third and final sector of this lap.
And through Canada corner he goes. Actually, I don't see any fault in his lap. I think the fact that he's just not carrying enough momentum. These cars, despite the aerodynamic nature of it, have to carry a lot of speed because they are quite underpowered. As I mentioned earlier, they are about GT3 spec in terms of power, so they really need to carry a lot of speed through the corners to make up the time as he comes through the final corner. Murugan surprisingly had the fastest lap so far right now. The fact that despite his off, he actually set a lap time of 2:14. So right up the leaderboard times as now Oliveira crosses the line. He's second.
Wow, second quickest indeed. That's a really good one. So now let's go have a look at Murugan as he see where he's at. Oh, it looks like he's starting another lap again. He doesn't have enough time, but he obviously was able to get over the line just in time. Managed to complete that second lap, and there he is, fastest of all, with Oliveira from New Zealand in second, Dutoit, Vietnam in third, Yannick David, the young Sri Lankan, he's only 11 years old, in fourth position. Great job by him. So good job there by Yannick David. We'll try and get some in-car shots of him later as well. New driver, Win Du Hong in sixth position. Oh, look at that. I think Orate from Philippines just managed to squeeze into P3 just at the very end.
Yeah, he was in P6 at that point.
Yeah, it just disappeared. Any other changes up there? Few drivers, few more seconds, closing seconds of qualifying, so a few more changes to be had so far.
The times are tumbling, and the fact that these guys are doing solo qualifying, they're not together on track, so the rubber build-up may not be there. The track was already optimum when they were starting their laps.
Okay, so that was pretty exciting qualifying. Some last-minute changes, right at the death to qualify. But Murugan, I'm really shocked to see that. Like you were saying, Ammo, he did his first race with us. You know, he was weaving all the way down the straight.
Yes.
So we had to go with him at the stewards. He had some penalties, lots of penalties. And he was quite feisty about that. He was like, I didn't make any mistake, but he did. And in the end, he had to accept the penalties. But I'm surprised how fast he's improved since then.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that caught me off guard as well, because I thought he was going to be right up there in the top 5, because in the practice just now, he was in the top 5, but didn't expect him to actually plonk it on pole.
Yeah.
That's good. That's a very good improvement. If he goes and wins this, he will vindicate himself for what he did last season in all the penalties that he actually acquired.
All right, Ammo, you're going to call the race now with Alistair Young. He's going to co-commentate with you. Take it away.
All right, now then. 5 seconds to go, they were in garage. Now then, 50 minutes ahead for the drivers. There's 2 races here, mind you. We're gonna have the lights underway here for the first race of the 3rd season of the Global Edition, and we're underway here at Road America, and it's a good start for Sri Murugan. He's underway already. Look at that, it's a big gap. Oliveira has barely caught up to him as they come to the first corner. This is gonna be very, very tight. Remember, these are all copper drivers. They might not have the best of safety standards, but luckily, so far so good. Everyone's gone through the first corner safely. As Murugan leads, 2nd is Oliveira, 3rd is Peter Dutour, 4th is Yannick David, and right now they're coming through the 2nd corner, and by the looks of things, everyone has gone through safely. Oh, spoke too soon. Looks like Orate has spun it. I think it's Orate. Yes, it is. Orate has spun it coming into turn 2. That's turn 3 they call it here. Now then, that's the first incident of the entire season so far. So we might expect more, but luckily, most of the field are actually still safe in the race.
Oliveira up front challenging Morgan as well, so the top 2 have gapped the rest of the field. But look at Yannick David, the young rookie coming in the cop class now. Lost the place down to P4, but it's very clean. I'm quite surprised at how clean these coppers are, but the grid's tight and it could be good, right, Emma?
Oh yeah, definitely, Alistair. Oh, well, it's just look at that rallycross. Now, we had a bit of a point of contention from the gold drivers saying about the track limits earlier, and well, we discussed with the stewards and they said that they'll let it go, but they have a bit of a caveat. They mustn't do it too often, and if they go too wide, they're gonna get 1 incident point, and if they collide with each other, that's gonna be 4. So that's gonna be something they have to worry about now, Alistair. Oh no!
Oh, Yannick!
Oh, that's a big one, and that's 3 cars involved. One of them is Yannick. The other one looks a bit like one of the black cars that looks like a Lotus. Oh, and more drivers collide at the kink. Luckily, one didn't go up into the barriers and spun the other way, as we're on board Yannick now. He looks a little bit shaken there. Did he hold it together? Luckily he did, and the fact that damage is not on hard, at least. I think it is the highest damage setting. But luckily, Yannick there gets away with it, albeit with a slightly damaged car, as more and more drivers go off at Canada Corner.
Yeah, damage is limited, but that was a very hard hit. I'd be surprised if he has no damage at all. But we could see smoke at Canada Corner, and look at the gaggle of cars now. I think it'll be a tough race for Lower Yannick, but hopefully he'll be able to pull through. Oliveira now at the front.
Oh, and yeah, Thiago Oliveira has actually caught up to Sri Murugan. So Murugan, despite the early lead, he had to jump on the others. He's not going to lose the lead coming into the first corner. And yes, he does. Oliveira brave around the outside, but Murugan will definitely fight back.
Yeah, it was a good move around the outside. He just has to hold it into turn 3. Has he got it? Yes, the Kiwi in the all-black car up to P1 ahead of Murugan.
Incidentally, yeah, the Kiwi in an all-black car, but it's a bit more of a Lotus color rather than the New Zealand rugby team colors. But either way, Thiago Oliveira on his debut, his formal debut here, he, as Alex said earlier, he debuted towards the end of last season. He's now leading the way.
Here.
Oh, and he tried it, and that again, I didn't mention earlier.
Pass.
I did mention earlier that turn 5 is one of the prime overtaking spots. You see it in IndyCars, you see it in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. A lot of drivers go for the move there because they have the amount of speed required to actually come to the back of the slipstream and try to move on the inside. But that time, Murugan's far away and he knew about it. He didn't want to actually risk it this early.
Yeah, the top 4 really pulling away now. It's a 3-second gap from Deschamps to Muriello. But yeah, Oliveira just has to keep calm and pull away now. He's got the pace and he made the move. The hard bit's over, now he's just got to get on with it.
And look at his wheel there. That is a very old wheel, the Trustmaster TSGT. And yeah, he's doing quite well here, despite the old wheel shape. He is pulling away slightly from Murugan. But now remember, this is these cars, despite having the wings at the back, don't have DRS. So all the overtaking maneuvers must be done the old-fashioned way. And Murugan now, he's under pressure from Peter Dutoit. So these three are going to make a breakaway if Duchamp doesn't catch up. And indeed, Mitrio in 5th, trying to catch up too.
Yeah, Oliveira's doing well. Murugan's struggling now. I'm not sure if maybe he's let his tires go in the opening laps, but it's gonna be close. Now it's down to turn 1. This long straight is really good for overtaking because it's so long and the slipstream's so strong. But turn 1 is a fast corner. It's gonna be hard to make a move. Is it gonna go to the outside?
Well, he's got a wall on the inside. Oh. We got a few cars disappearing. Oh, now they're back. That's just a bit of lag, but again, there's more lag as Dutoit tries to go around the outside. Does he take it?
Oh, he's off.
He spins as into the wall, and he's gone through the circuit. Looks like we got a bit of internet issues here right now. Dutoit's still in the race. Yeah, we can't catch up at the moment. We'll try to get on top of the issues as best as we can, but it's just, yeah, something's gone wrong with the internet. It's gone pear-shaped here at the moment, but we'll try to keep calm and wait until it just rides itself out. It's just slight, lag spikes. We got drivers all over the world.
Down the long straight again. He's looking, but not quite making the move. I'm kind of curious about the guys at the back. It seems very close according to the deltas.
And is that yet? That's Murugan spinning for real this time, and it is. Murugan from 2nd will now drop all the way to at least 9th place as the rest of the snake comes by.
Oh, the leading Malaysian. That's not going to be good for the national championship.
Oh yeah, you're right.
The Vietnam drivers seem very strong there in 2nd and 3rd.
And in 5th as well, with the 2nd of the Dutoit brothers coming through to take away the position that was taken by his brother from Matria earlier.
Yeah.
So right now, it's Thiago Oliveira on his full season debut in 1st. As we can see that Matria goes through the king very wide. 2nd is Peter Dutoit, 3rd is Duchamp, 4th is Matria, and 5th is the 2nd Dutoit Regal. So Vietnam looking good right now, 2, 3, and 5, while it's looking even better for the New Zealander, for Thiago Oliveira. He's leading the way. Other than the fact that maybe Peter Dutoit can actually challenge him for the lead. It's not over by a long shot. We still are only halfway through this race. 8 minutes, anything can still happen.
Yeah, Oliveira and Yannick David running solo for their nations, but not going too badly. Obviously, Yannick had the incident early in the race, but he has caught up into P14 from last, which is a great effort from the young kid.
Oh yes, definitely. And that particular incident, especially at one of the fastest corners on the entire circuit, might have scared him. And the fact that he caused an accident not only himself, but he also caused quite a few drivers to come along with him as casualties. So the stewards might look at that. Either that was like he rejoined the track in an unsafe manner, or it was just a pure racing accident. But whatever it is, as you said earlier, Alistair, great recovery from Yannick. He's now up to 14th, but crucially, he might still get the win in the 2nd race. Remember, we have reverse grid coming up.
Precisely, yeah. If he's lucky, he might even be on pole next race, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But at the moment, Dutoit closing the gap on Oliveira, he's within a second, so he's getting the slipstream, but he's a bit fast still. He's got 7 minutes to make it work, but it's looking tough. Meanwhile, in 3rd and 4th, there's a move as well into turn 4.
Looked like Duchamp was trying to defend on the inside, while Matrio, in the 2nd of the Lotus-looking cars, tried to go into the inside at turn 5, a favorite overtaking spot for the Indy cars. But unfortunately, we have not seen that many moves right there in these Aquila CR1s just yet.
Duchamp looks like he's holding strong up in P3, even though the Filipino behind him is right on his tail. It'll be quite interesting to switch to that later, but we're still on board with Peter Dutoit catching the leader. Now within 5/10, so it's gonna be close.
Whoa. And mind you, these drivers have not won a race yet at all even in this category, so they are hungry for their first wins, but they might not want to drop it here at one of the fastest circuits in the world, because right now, if they lose it here, they're gonna lose a lot of time due to the fact that the cars are traveling so fast and they're actually quite close. So right now, they might be thinking of trying to score initial points that will build up to the end of the championship. But Oh, that's a big crash there. That looks like Mitrio, I think. Mitrio and Duxiong just had a big collision coming to the Canada corner, and that's moved Regal Dutour up to third. So, the Dutour brothers second and third, with Duxiong now fourth. And Mitrio, I think, just got the short end of the stick in that particular incident.
Vietnam having a great first race at the moment. Really unfortunate for the Filipino, but we'll see what he can do from 8th place now.
Well, I think that damage might... Well, it's not a terminal, but it might just be a huge hindrance in the last 6 minutes of the race to go. As speaking of that, look at that. 6th to 11th is all Filipinos. So at least they'll get probably some good points in the Nations Cup, but not... That will probably be just a consolation compared to what Vietnam is getting.
Yeah, I agree. They're really close now, but he's got to pick his moment right. These cars are so underpowered, and it's such a long, flowing track that when you make a move, you really need to make it and run off. Otherwise, you lose too much time.
Here we go then. Coming up to turn 5. This is between Peter Dutour and Thiago Oliveira. Oliveira defends at the inside, now goes around the outside. Peter gets in the inside here, coming to turn 5. Will he get the maneuver done? Yes, he does. But they're going side by side, coming up to turn 6.
Oh,
and
he needs to leave room. He needs to leave room.
And don't mind the cars jumping for a moment. That's just a slight light. But there we go. As you say, Alistair, he just left him a bit of room there, coming to turn 6. And now Dutour has taken the lead. Oliveira will now have to regroup and try to fight back at him.
Yeah, that was just enough space, but Oliveira might protest that as it was for a race win.
Well, actually, yeah, gonna throw that at you right now. If you were leading right there and you got a move on you like that, will you protest a move like that?
I don't know. It's a bit close. Oliveira did make the corner and he was down the inside, but I think it's fine. It should be fine, but yeah, Oliveira just needs to keep cool now, stay in the slipstream. Maybe wait for Peter to run out his tires. But we'll see. Coming into Canada corner, they're really close again. He might go for the move. And he's gone for it, down the inside.
Oh, and does he make it? Yes, he does.
Oliveira back up to P1.
But there's the switchback from Peter Dutour. He goes around the outside, Bill Mitchell corner, but
great battle.
Whoa,
side
this
by
is good.
side.
This is good stuff. What a way to start the new season. As they collide again.
Oh, he's off.
Does he save it? Yes, he does. Rallycross style.
Oh, great save.
Oh, that is good driving from Peter Dutour to save it. But I think Oliveira might have gotten his elbows out a bit too much there.
I don't know. We'll see from the race steward at the end, but yeah. This opening round looks like quite a lot of work for our stewards later on.
Yep. We got a steward team, of course, as usual for every race to watch this. But I think, judging by the way it went, by a few drivers going off track and having some collisions, it might just be in the dozens by this rate. As now we go to Zetre Orate, who is in 9th, battling with Francis Matrio in 10th. This is Matrio, who was up to 3rd at one point before getting a hit by Duxiong. Now he's going to try to fight his way to get some consolation points here. As he goes onto the inside, Matrio doesn't get the move done on his fellow countryman. Nope. Orate just braves around the outside coming to turn 1. And that is a very brave thing to do because it's such a fast corner. If you hit each other, you're going to bang that concrete barrier around the outside.
Oh, yeah. Quite kind there, leaving the space, but it should have been an easy move for Matriello. Anyway, moving on. Orate seems to be going fine now. But yeah, the grid seems a bit spread out. There's not much fighting going on anymore. I think we just have to be patient with the final 2.5 minutes.
Yep, and we have enough time to actually run through what happens behind the top 10. As we can see in 20 seconds, we had 24 starters, so we had 3 retirements so far. And one of them is Daniel Renoy, who was really good last season in the Copper class. But unfortunately not a good start to the new season for him. And we had some other drivers who are returning, in fact, including Adam Kondrolakis, who's in 17th. He might be at the back right now, but he'll be starting at the front for race 2. As will be Yannick David, who had that major incident right here at the kink, who will be starting in the midfield in 11th right now. Well, he'll be around, I think, 14th by the time we actually sort out the grid. So, yeah, that's a run through for the drivers who are at the back of the grid.
But Morgan, with a great comeback drive up to P4 after that incident earlier, that dropped him down out of the top 10. So great driving from him. He's right on the tail of P3. He might even snag a podium before the end of this.
Oh wow, what a story this will be. Remember, we had to point out, this is the guy last season who had a bit of the ire of the stewards in a way. He had a bit of a told off to from his rather aggressive driving, but right now he has proven to not do the same thing for this first race of the season. The only thing that he has to work on is to actually mitigate his mistakes. As was that overtake for first place coming to the first corner? Looks like it is. Oliveira was on the outside while Dutoit was on the inside, and luckily for Oliveira, he still held on to the lead. As going back to Murugan, right now 4th place is on the cards for him unless he can make an epic last lap to overtake Regal Dutoit.
Yeah, it's gonna be close, but I don't think he'll have it. But yeah, Dutoit 1/10 away from Oliveira, going into one of the heaviest braking zones on the track. He might get it done here. If only the camera could change, but looking from the Delta, it seems quite close.
Will he try? No, I don't think so. He's just way too far back. As up in front, something happened. Oh, and Dutoit takes the lead of the race, coming in through to turn 5. Oliveira has been caught napping there, and now the lead changes hands again. This is about the 3rd lead change of the entire race, and this is only race 1, boys. You're gonna have to wait for the 2nd race to actually make more moves like that. As right now, Dutoit has to defend for the lead, but coming up to turn 8. No, Oliveira nearly makes it. But right now, he has only one overtaking spot to do, and that's at Canada Corner. If you get the speed right coming through the carousel and the kink, he has a good shot at overtaking him on the last lap.
Yeah, I think trying that move just now into turn 8 was a bit ambitious. He should have just waited for the straight. It's so long. You'd have the slipstream, and he'd also have the braking zone into the Canada Corner. But he's close now, 3/10 and closing. We'll see what he can get done.
And he's got the slipstream here, coming out to the Canada Corner. This is, of course, another prime.
He sold the dummy.
Spot. Oh, he sold the dummy. Did he lock up? Yes, he did. But Oliver, oh no, he's bent. And look at that, the disappointment on his face. He knew he had it there. And now he's gonna have to settle for 3rd place. As that's Murugan. He's up to 2nd. Out of nowhere, Murugan, who is in 4th, has made up 2 positions on the last lap. As Peter Dutoit will come across the line to take the first win of the brand new season. And he's gonna lose 3rd place as well for Oliveira. There is Peter Dutoit, comes across the line, takes win number 1 of the first round of the Copper Class season.
What a last lap. We had Dutoit taking the lead, we had Oliveira with the spin, Murugan with the comeback drive from 4th to 2nd. Wow, what an opening lap of the season.
Wow, and Oliveira managed to take 3rd somehow. Yes, he is in 3rd, and as Regal was overtaken, but look at that. He has a slight look of disappointment because he knew he had it there. He just locked it up, and unfortunately, door handle to door handle touch, and he spun. But luckily for him, he managed to make it up for it, and he's still 3rd, or somehow.
Yeah, that's great racing from the Copper Class, to be fair. You know, these guys are rookies, they haven't done much racing, so to produce some entertainment like that is really solid. I don't think Oliveira should be that upset. He drove quite well over the course of the race, and he still has 1 more to go. And it's also a very long season. We got 6 more rounds.
Ditto to that. And of course, even if you had a terrible run this one, you still can get rid of this and score 5 better rounds. But for Peter Dutoit though, he will be feeling absolutely insulted by this. A win to start off the brand new season, and he's got his brother in 4th as well. So good day for the Dutoit brothers.
And I've just heard that the top 13 are having a reverse grid, meaning that Wong, the Singaporean, will be on pole.
And apparently it's through, it's like a random way of doing it, but yeah. Kenneth Wong, who was in the TCRs last season in the Copper Class, will now be on pole for the 2nd race of the season in this round at Road America. So then we run through the order as before we go through the 2nd race. Peter Dutoit wins. 2nd is Sri Murugan with the fastest lap of the race, so he's got an extra point for that one. 3rd Oliveira, 4th Dutoit, and 5th is Matrio.
Yeah, so the way that this new reverse grid happens is it's actually random. So someone will roll a dice, and depending on what it says, they'll reverse either 13th or 18th, and somewhere in between there.
Alright, so that spices things up. So then, the 2nd race of the eRacing Grand Prix Americas Championship, the Global Edition here for Season 3. We're gonna have a reverse grid as we were told just now, from P13 onwards. Sorry, from 1st to 13th. So right now, whoever was in 13th is not unlucky 13th, it's lucky 13th to be on pole right now. And Alistair, what are you looking forward to for this one?
Turn 1 and 2 is very open. I'm expecting a lot of track extensions, but we're gonna see 5 red lights.
And we are go. Oh, it kind of bogged the start a bit, but look at that. Iman with an absolute blind over start. He takes the lead as we now come into the first corner. Look at that. 3 abreast almost for the up to the first corner because due to the fact that it's a very wide start-finish straight. As into the lead goes Iman. Second is, I think, Yannick David. Yes, Yannick David is in second. Third is Material, and fourth is Kenneth Wong. So he managed to hold on to a top 5 position somehow. But look at that. The field just plowing through the first 2 corners.
Imran with a great start from P5. That was great off the line, and Yannick now on his tail. Imran seems to have gapped away, but look at how close everyone is from second and onwards. 3 wide now down the main straight. Oh, I'm expecting some incident. Someone might miss their braking here on the cold brakes.
And look, oh, you called it absolutely
Contact.
right. Someone actually just plowed through, and then there was a Lotus car spinning. We can't tell who's there right now because the timing screen is still sorting itself out. But you called it right there. Someone did misjudge their braking, and now they might have to face the wrath of the stewards.
Yeah, still very close to turn 7. Now down to turn 8. Defending is Orate trying to go around the outside of Wong, the pole sitter, but everyone seems to be calming down now. You know, they're going to the carousel. There's going to be another long straight here before the heavy braking on Canada corner. So we'll see what everyone will do in the slipstream. But yeah, good clean opening lap so far. I haven't seen that many big incidents. But let's take a look now into the braking. Morgan.
Oh, is that Yannick David? Yes! Oh, he's caused a massive accident! This is a bigger one! Oh my word! Someone's on their roof! That's a massive accident! That is terrible.
Just being collected at this point.
Oh my word! This is almost Spa 98 minus the roof, minus someone being on their roof. This is a massive accident. Oh, there's more. There is more, and the fact that one is Peter Dutoit. So, oh look at that! His 2 brothers. They're watching him right now. Oh no! And he spins again. That's Peter Dutoit, by the way. That's not Yannick. But my word, what a massive accident! If that was real life, that was red flagged.
I'm happy it's virtual because there'd be quite a few banged up drivers there.
Oh man.
And what a nightmare for the podium sitters from last race.
Yep.
Dutoit was caught up, Morgan was caught up with Yannick. This is going to be a very interesting race now. It's all mixed up.
And a very interesting race in the championship too, as Matrio with a big wipe at Kenneth Wong. And Kenneth was lucky to hold on there to not spin into the infield and into the concrete barriers. But wow, the stewards going to have the work cut out now in the second race.
Yeah, that was a bit naughty from Morello. I think Wong had the line, but he got chopped off there. We might be seeing another protest there.
Meanwhile, out of all that, Shazrul Iman, who made an absolute blinder of a start, is now pulling away 2.4 seconds ahead of Francis Matrio, with Zache Orate now third. So, this is going to be his race to lose now. He just needs to gap those drivers behind him. And if there's more accidents, his lead's going to look very handsome. My word. We're only about 3 minutes into the race and only 1 lap in, and we had so many accidents. The stewards, as we alluded to earlier, have a very big work to do.
Oh, the fight for third's heating up now, as Wong and Cruz are closing in on Orate. But yeah, it's still gapped up for now. I think they will have to wait again. The slipstream's really powerful in this game, especially with these cars.
Yep, the slipstream you have to be within half a second at least for it to be very effective. And the fact that drivers in front could easily just lose it. So they could easily get close right now. As remember I mentioned earlier about the kink. We had a massive accident there back in 2006 with Champ Car. That looks almost exactly like it. Catherine Legge, if anyone remembers who she is, she was the one that was involved in that massive accident, but miraculously, she walked away there unscathed. And, well, until recently, she was involved in another big accident for European Le Mans, but that's another story. That was almost the same, but it was involving at least half a dozen cars. And my word, if we had a red flag situation, we would have red flagged that race. This race.
Yeah, best wishes and quick recovery to Catherine Legge. But meanwhile, in P10, Hung now closing in on David. David seems to have some damage though. His front right light isn't working. So even with the minimized damage, he still has some.
Yep. And yeah, this David is a Filipino, so no relation to Yannick David or the other 2 David brothers. Apparently, if you want to be a race car driver, you need to be named David as your surname or your first name. Is that someone going off? that looked like a big... Is that Iman? He's off the try me screen. He's in 5th. Yes, it is. If we can go to Iman, that is a massive off for Shazrul Iman. He had a massive lead at one point, and now he's dropped to 6th. This race is a race that just keeps on giving.
Oh, heartbreak for the Malaysian. New leader. Oh, Philippines 1-2, by the way. I don't think you noticed that. So they're looking very strong compared to the Vietnam drivers last race.
Judging by the looks of this, I think Vietnam and the Philippines might just be leading the Nations Cup. As
oh, the fight for P2 is heating up though.
And Orate just got to the inside. Kenneth Wong, does he get it? Yes, he does. He's up to 2nd. Kenneth Wong is now being swallowed up by the field. Oh, he has a bit of a touch there from Janelli Cruz. It's now Filipino 1, 2, 3.
Look at him, all within a second.
And look who's in 5th. It's Regal Dutois. So, with the unfortunate incidents that befell Murugan and his own brother, he might actually just take the championship lead at the early point of the season. So, that will not do his credentials any worse. He will now be leading the championship by our reckoning.
A lot of drivers using the inside grass of the carousel, surprisingly. I'm not sure if that helps, but it looks like Cruz has got quite a good run on Orate. You know, he's in the slipstream. I don't think he's close enough to make a move, but we'll take a look here. See if Orate defends. No, he doesn't. They stay clean. Maybe we're looking for a move down into turn 4 for the heavy braking, as Orate runs very wide. But yeah. What do you think, Ammo? How do you think this is going to play out?
I think one of these drivers is going to wipe themselves out if they were going to drive this close and this hard. But right now, surprisingly clean, so I think they might want just to keep it that way in order to not mess up any good points they're going to earn, as we're now on board with Ake Basarum, as he tries to move on the inside of David, the other David, but unfortunately, no cigar just by yet. He's still in 11th, and at least some points to collect in the second race. As coming up to another lap, this is lap 4 now. It's a very short race, 15 laps. You could easily go through at least 7 laps because how long this track is for these cars. As is that one driver disappearing? I just saw a driver disappearing from 4th place. Yes, it is. We got a driver out of the race. I think it's from accumulated penalty points. Regal Dutois is now up to 4th. What happened there?
But Cruz on Orate. Oh, sorry? Yes.
Yep.
Fight for 2nd, down the inside.
And
Cruz up into P2.
Lovely move. A
Good
classic move
move
there, Road America. But Orate will try to fight back. Nope, he doesn't. Still holds on to 2nd place for Generic Cruz.
And it's a Filipino 1, 2, 3. But I think only the top two drivers of the nation score. So Orate not making points for the nation, but maybe for his team.
Yep. That is actually a good point. Yeah, top 2 drivers score. It will be maximum points then for the Filipinos, which is not gonna do them any harm whatsoever. As will they try to keep it that way? We'll have to wait and see, because Regal Dutois is coming up very close in 4th place. This battle for 2nd is not over by a long shot.
Yeah, Dutois, another. Was he on the podium last race? I think he was in P3.
Yeah, he was P3. And the fact that he's now up to P4 with what happened to his brother and Sri Murugan, he will now effectively collect the championship lead. As look at the focus on Yannick David's face. Up to the inside, and he takes away 15th from Adam Krondelokis.
Yeah, Yannick, the youngest on the grid, as you can tell how big that steering wheel is compared to him. And we can see Yevan, the gold driver for Stratos, in the background, maybe coaching Yannick.
Yep. We saw just now, we had a really lovely shot of him on stream through the Zoom call, and we could see that his 2 brothers were almost like distraught seeing what just happened. He caused a massive pile up at the kink, and well, you can still see that, yeah, a bit of a look of disappointment there, but a good start to the weekend. Nonetheless, he was up in the top 10 at one point in the first race, before losing it altogether coming into the second race.
He was in 2nd for a little bit at the beginning of this race, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then he just dropped it and just caused absolute mayhem. But luckily for him, he might just still be able to drop this round and focus for the next 5, as we go back now to the battle for 2nd place.
Orate, the lead driver for CR1 Racing, so he'll be scoring maximum points for his team at the moment. not maximum points, but he's going to be scoring the most points for his team as he's the leading driver. As he goes down the inside of Cruz, not quite making it, backing out.
Oh, slight touch there coming out of turn 5 between Cruz and Arate, the two Filipinos there. Wouldn't want to collide too many times, otherwise they might get disqualified for collisions. As you pointed just now, CR1 Racing, that's actually the team name for the car. It's not his actual team name being good right now. So we'll work out the points for the teams later on. But right now, out here, everybody's racing for themselves. As now Matrio is the one who has the luxury of a buffer of 1.7 seconds at the front of the grid. Will he lose it like Iman? Well, I kind of highly doubt it, because he has the comfort knowing the fact that his fellow countrymen are behind him, probably making a barricade for Dutour.
Meanwhile, KJ, down in 7th place, rookie, he came to the Axel Academy classes. I'm very impressed. He was at the office all day yesterday, and it seems to be paying off. And yeah, he's doing quite well.
Oh, you introduced the driver? How is he like as a driver right now?
He's alright. I think he might be a bit nervous. It's his first ever race on the sim. He was quite impressive in the academy classes, but yeah, I'll go see him afterwards when I drive for gold later, because I'm going to be going to Sunway to see him, because we're sharing a sim.
Right, that's wicked. Nice to hear a bit of actual input from these drivers and hearing their backstories for real. As right now, look at that, the swath of drivers that are right behind him for 7th place. It could still not be over yet for this battle. As we can see, there's Murugan in 9th. He is on a charge. He's up to 9th now. Will he try to actually mitigate the damage that happened to him from that massive collision at the kink? He still has enough time to actually at least get to 7th at this point, but not much else after that.
Yeah, I think that incident in the beginning of the race was just too much. He's done well to recover back into the points, but I think, yeah, 7th is as much as he can ask for at the moment.
As behind him, that's we'll go back to second place, as Janelli Cruz has still somehow held on to 2nd, but coming out to the inside now goes Cedric Orate. Nope, not yet. Closes the door on him, and look at that, the 1.7 second lead that Francis Matrio has built up has now shrunk to now less than a second. So this is going to be a battle between the Filipinos, but which one's going to come out on top? This is going to be very, very close in the last 3 minutes of the race.
Arate has to make a decision. He can either keep hindering Cruz and going for that 2nd place, or he can just hold back and wait for them to catch the leader and try and go for the lead. Arate seems to be a bit nervous, not quite making the moves properly, but Cruz is defending like a real champ as he's closing in on the leader too.
Fiddly wearing a Ferrari shirt, which is something that Ferrari are doing most often nowadays. As now we come through the kink for what could be the penultimate time. By the next time by, it might be the last lap. So Cruz has to make the move stick within this lap or the next lap to have a real chance of holding on for the win. Of winning this race. But right now, he is right at the back of Francis Matrio. Matrio now has under real pressure. A buffer that was a 1.7 second lead has shrunk to now just 0.3 of a second. In this race, I think the lead is somehow quite cursed.
I agree. Yeah, so this will be the penultimate lap looking at it, as a lap in these cars is 2:15. But yeah, it's almost like you don't want to be in front. The slipstream and toe seem so powerful around this track, as the flowy nature creates quite a big air pocket. The top 3 are going to be very close on this last lap. They're all within a second now. Orate 9/10, Cruz 4/10. Someone runs wide at the last corner.
That's K-Jun. That was a massive drift coming to the final corner, but luckily he only lost the position to Baskina. As now, that's Sri Murugan. He's up to 8th. He's overtaken Akebazarum, but we have to go to the battle at the front. There are 2 separate battle packs coming in right now. As is that Francis Matrio going off? Yes, it is. He just went massively wide. He's going to get penalty points for that. He's going to be under massive pressure from his fellow countrymen. This is the battle between the 3 Filipinos for the win in the 2nd race of the season.
That was excessive out of 1. I'm not sure if he'll get in trouble for that. That was very wide. Oh, Cruz going around the outside. Orate sneaking down the inside of Cruz.
And
the places are the same, but Cruz is now looking down the inside again. Contact.
Wow, that's almost touring car style. British touring car style. They went door handle to door handle, as somehow Francis Matrio still holds on to the lead. Janelli Cruz wanted to have that win so badly. It was lifted up for him But unfortunately, the fire was stoked. Sorry, the fire was put out by Matrio. Now he has to relight it, coming into the last sector here, through the carousel, and coming out to Canada corner. That's the last overtaking spot that Janelli Cruz has the opportunity to take the first race win of his career in ERGP.
Cruz is 4/10 off. It's a very long straight now. I think the slipstream might just be enough to make a move into Canada corner. Now the question is, will he go around the outside or down the inside? We'll just have to wait and see.
Coming out to Canada corner now. Matrio's not defending yet. He's still holding the race line. Now he does. He's gonna block to Kingdom Come. And he does. No, he doesn't. He just leaves it open. Oh, he gets a touch from Orate and he spins. He spins out. That's podium position done. And there goes Dutoit. He's gonna get a second podium in 2 races. Orate might have the wrath of the stewards to come out to him right now. But Janelli Cruz, who has been patient throughout this entire race, defending from Zatre Orate, will now take the first race win of his career. Coming out to the line now over the brow. And that's it. Janelli Cruz wins the first race of his ERGP career. Second is Orate, who actually just slows a bit. I think he ran out of fuel maybe. Not sure, but he will cross the line anyway. Second place to Orate. Third is Dutoit. And fourth is Ima. Where's Matrio? Matrio, I think, yes, there he is in 5th. No, he's out. He's now 6th. No, he's 5th. Oh my word. What an ending to the race. We had 2 races in a row where it was decided in the last few corners.
Oh, what great racing. And how weird is that for both leaders in both races to spin on the last lap at Canada corner. Wow, so it's a 1-2 for Philippines, Vietnam taking it 3rd. But yeah, again, the last 2 laps tense as hell for the top 3.
Wow. Yep. And as I alluded to earlier, somehow the lead was actually the most cursed position of the entire race. We had 3 different leaders coming to the last lap, and all 3 of them somehow didn't get the win. My word, if this was the kind of racing we have in the first round, I hope it will go for the next 5 rounds. Wow. So then, Janelli Cruz, after a fantastic defensive drive, went on the offense in the last lap and made the move stick. He has now become an ERGP winner in the copper class. He will have, well, he's not the most number of points, but he will do his championship charge very well. Second place was Zatre Orate. Third is Rico Dutoit. Another podium. And he will now, I think, effectively take the lead of the championship. Shazrul Iman, who led the race at one point, went off big time at the first corner. Somehow got it together and not crash out. He finished 4th. Which would have been 1st. 5th is Francis Matrio, who was leading coming into the last corner. Sorry, the last 2 corners before being spun around by his own countryman. They'll be inquesting into that as well. 6th is Jehan Kalam. 7th is David. 8th is Sri Murugan, who recovered after that massive accident. 9th is Ake Baskarum. And 10th is Baskina. With the rest of the field, including the guy who won the third in the first race, Tiago Oliveira, out of this one. What an absolute corker of a round for the first race of the brand new season in Copper Class for the ERGP Global Edition America's Championship.
Wow, that was certainly an exciting race. Thanks for calling that, Ammo. Really good to see that there, and Alistair of commentating on his first race as well. But some exciting racing. Both Dutoits getting in the action there from Vietnam. So, Ammo, that was what happened in that first lap with that accident with Yannick David?
I think it was just like a domino effect. One guy goes off, and then there's a lot of dirt being kicked out of the air. They didn't know where to go. It just went plowing in. It's almost Spa 98, minus the rain. And the fact that one guy was on his roof. So it was unbelievable. We didn't expect that kind of big accident. We know that the kick is one of the most dangerous parts of the entire circuit, but didn't expect multiple cars to be involved in that kind of collision. Okay. And if that was the tone that's going to be set by the Copper Class, I don't know what would happen in the other ones. It might just be even bigger.
Yeah, we definitely can't run with full damage on yet for Copper Class.